talk about the IB high and IB low. And so there's a few levels that are really important as a day begins. The first one is the opening price. That is something in our essentials indicator that is tracked. This is, it's funny, price happens to be right now at the exact opening right here, but our essentials indicator plots out that opening price for us. Find that to be very important. We'll talk about that here in a second. Also, we do track VWAP. It doesn't necessarily give us an entry, but it gives us some information that is important to our trading. And then you'll see here on our essentials indicator, see this slightly lighter green box? That is the IB range. That is the high and the low of the first hour of trading. It's the high and the low of the first hour of trading. Now, I still manually come in here and mark out IB highs and IB lows. In fact, I have it on this little shortcut thing. What do they call it? Template, IB low, and then IB high. So some of the statistics surrounding this is very insightful as well. And in fact, I didn't think about bringing that up, but give me a second here. Let's bring that up. Wrong button, Mr. George. I'm going to show you something. It's in our Core Strategy Academy. Let me grab this. I didn't think about maybe sharing this, but let me just log in as a user here. Actually, as the admin, make sure I got access. I'm not sure my test account has access to the Core Strategy Academy. So let's come down in here. All right, let me bring this over. We'll just bring it to here. Yeah, that makes sense right there. So there's some statistics around the IB high and low that are kind of cool. So let's take a peek at some of these. First of all, in about 98% of the cases, the IB is going to be broken, okay? One of the interesting statistics is the high is taken more than the low. Why is that important? Well, ES is a northernly moving instrument over time. Makes the most sense that the IB high is taken more than the IB low. 30% of the time, both are taken. So that doesn't happen as often as you think. Only 1 out of 3 times is it going to take out both of the IBs. And a very small percentage of the time is neither taken out. So once the IB high and low is established, you can bank with 98% certainty one of them is going to be taken. Only 30% of the time will both be taken, and only 2% of the time will neither be taken. And then there are some additional statistics there as well. So I treat the IB high and IB low like its own little session. They are just as important. I made this RTHI instead of IB high. You know, you're talking, you're teaching, you're doing lots of things at once. IB high. And it's also funny how that ES has an uncanny knack. In fact, I posted this in the group yesterday, that when we open near one of the IBs, so we opened up near the IB high yesterday, that it goes and takes out the opposite IB. So when we're live on Zoom and that is established and we're up hugging near one of them, most of the time, I don't have statistics on it, I haven't kept track of it, but it has an uncanny knack, is the word I'm going to say, for going and taking out the IB that is furthest away, okay? That's furthest away. Some of the rules surrounding that is I love when it races to the opposite end, because typically that's going to give me a trap the trader long back into the range. And if price comes back into the IB range, I'm typically not going to counter that move. I want to go with the move. Okay. I want to go with the move. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to keep laddering and go, 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 but I'm talking about probabilities. Open up near the IB high, grab the IB low. I'm going to be looking for a move back in. And if it gives me an opportunity to be in that move back towards the center, I love that trade. Notice we came back to the opening and had a reaction off the opening. That happens so much that it's uncanny. Once again, I don't have the necessary statistics, but it's absolutely uncanny. So if you were able to get long here, where's a perfect place to TP some of your contracts? It's right at the opening, and then you keep a runner back just in case it keeps going. We don't know if it's going to keep going, but you're already in a winning trade. You already had a green day. Now your goal is to stay in that trade no matter what, in my humble opinion. So these IB highs and IB lows are very important. If you're wanting to study market profile more, I'm never going to claim I'm an expert market profile, but James Dalton is someone who has written several books on it. I would look into that direction as well. But I do like that our essentials indicator pulls that out here. So one of the things to consider is when it does take that out, that a lot of times it'll come back in. But if it ladders beyond the IB, like right here, it laddered beyond, be careful countering. So let's take one step back, make sure I'm speaking clearly. It grabbed the IB low and it came back and bounced off the opening. Beautiful trade here, no problem. Then when it finally breaks the IB, okay, so it tried it once, came back in, tried it twice, came back in. And on the third time, it finally broke the IB. You want to be careful longing. You want to be careful longing, because at that point, we are under the opening, check mark. You're under VWAP, check mark. You're under the IB low, check mark. That's going to continue going that direction, check mark, check mark, check mark. So these three things put together helps give you some framework, right? Now, yesterday, we knew you got to take additional information. You got the London low, you got the Asia low, you got the overnight low. What did this do? It came and grabbed the overnight low and came back in. So just because it's careful with longs, that's a general rule. But what happened yesterday is it grabbed all of the session liquidity, laddered back into the move. I was actually long on this move from, where was I long? 33.